Hi Mooseheart, this is Mary, the dietitian. We're here together again in my kitchen, and I wish that I could be there with you, but since I can't, we're still trying to give you some good ideas. And today we're going to make a turkey butternut squash soup. So I was thinking that that might be helpful with leftover turkey after Thanksgiving. And the butternut squash is out there and easy to find now. So both of them are such good healthy items for a soup, and a great way to use up some extra vegetables that are in the fridge as well. So butternut squash can be intimidating sometimes. How do you cut it, right? You have to use a really strong knife. So here's a trick for you. Take the full butternut squash. I made half of the soup, so I wanted to show you. So take the full butternut squash and kind of prick a fork all the way down both sides, the front and the back, as you can see there. And then if you put it in the microwave for a minute, minute and a half, once you bring it out, it's really a lot easier to cut. So if you cut it right in half, you've got a flat surface, and then that way it's much easier to cut, and you can cut it right on the dotted line, and it just cuts a lot easier. So that makes butternut squash more accessible. It's a great source of vitamin A, so that's awesome. And then you just take the seeds out with a spoon. And this one is actually from the Mooseheart garden. Fox Valley Food for Health made that for us, or grew it, and then gave us the squash. So how lucky are we that we can grow it right there on campus. And so once you scoop out those seeds, or that pulpy part, you can just use a vegetable peeler to peel it, and it peels pretty easily. You can roast it with the peel on, but it's a little bit easier for butternut squash. The delicata squash that we have here, that we've used before, that one you eat the peel, and this one it's a little bit tougher, so you don't want to do that. So you just go ahead and finish that up, and then you can dice that up into small pieces. And then that's how we're going to make the soup today. So for this soup, you start out with dicing up some garlic and onions and sauteing those in some olive oil. And the recipe is going to be attached as well once you receive this video. So once you saute those, then you put in the chunks of the butternut squash with water or vegetable broth or even chicken broth. The broth will give it a little bit more flavor, but you can add herbs to that as well. And then when you're sauteing, you can actually saute in carrots. You can saute all different kinds of recipe or vegetables that you have in your fridge. So just feel free to throw those in. All right, so we have the soup here. And we're going to bring it over. Now this particular soup, you can see right now, let me get my other hot pad. It's kind of chunky. You can see the butternut squash is in there. So I'm going to use an immersion blender. You can use any kind of blender, or you can even just use a potato masher. That would be fine too. So with the immersion blender, you just have to make sure it's totally immersed, and then that's going to make it nice and pureed for you. And it gives it a beautiful butternut squash thickness, so you don't really have to add cream. All right, so that's blended up nicely. We're going to put the immersion blender down here. It's got very sharp edges, so you just have to make sure to unplug it right after you use it. And then we're going to serve up the soup. Oh, we forgot one thing. We're going to put our turkey in there. So add that to the soup, and then we're going to serve it up, and you'll see what the texture did. It's changed the texture to this beautiful butternut squash soup with leftover turkey. And what a nice idea for this cold weather we've been having. We're going to do a little bit of a garnish with some fresh parsley and some, I have Asiago here, but you can use Parmesan cheese. Really, you can use any kind of cheese you have in your fridge. So this is the butternut squash leftover turkey soup. I hope you enjoy it. Have a great day.